Armored elements of the British Second Army advance on Tilburg, pivotal city of the German retreat from the southern Netherlands. The advance slows down at a Nazi-demolished bridge spanning the Wilhelmina Canal. Crossing the canal via the twisted girders. After clearing the area of snipers, the rest of the battalion crosses the canal in assault boats. A bridgehead is secured, and shortly thereafter, the former Nazi stronghold is neutralized. On the western flank of the Netherlands front, the Anglo-Canadian offensive to open Antwerp is expedited by amphibious operations. First of these is the crossing of the Scheldt estuary from the mainland. Objective to contact the 2nd Canadian Division fighting along a peninsula toward the islands in the estuary. Alligators reach the southeastern coast of Zuid-Beveland, garrisoned by 2,500 Nazis. Later, other armored vehicles arrive, pushing westward to the causeway linking Zuid-Beveland with the farthest of the Scheldt group, Walcheren Island. Waterlogged Walcheren Island, last German strongpoint commanding the approaches to the important port of Antwerp. Half of the island is underwater as a result of RAF bombing of the seawalls. But 5 small areas garrisoned by some 7,000 fanatical Nazis pose a problem whose solution is finally found in a large-scale seaborne attack. On 1st November, a British armada of 200 ships bears down on Walcheren's western shore. Typhoons of the RAF. Nazi counter-battery fire. Preparing for the landing at West Capella, site of the main Nazi coastal batteries commanding the entrance to the Scheldt estuary. A foothold is secured, but at great cost in ships and men. Heavy artillery on the mainland paves the way for another landing on Walcheren. British commandos prepare to embark. Objective, Flushing, Holland's 3rd port on the southern side of Walcheren. Meanwhile, several small craft set out to lay a smoke screen for the amphibious operation. Nazi coastal guns from Flushing fire on the smoke-laying craft. British Army commandos land at 0945 hours, meeting less opposition than Marine commandos in the West Capella assault. Fighting ceases after fierce house-to-house action, ending the last phase of the battle for the port of Antwerp, prelude to the Battle of the Reich. Captured with 2,500 Germans, Lieutenant General Wilhelm Daser insisted on waiting until dawn for a formal surrender. Outnumbered 10 to 1, the small company of British captors agreed to the erratic commander's whim. British films of Coastal Command mosquito bombers on January raids attacking enemy shipping in fjords along the Norwegian coast. Tanks of the 7th Armored Division converging on Saint-Vite, 4 miles from the Reich border. Pursuing remnants of von Rundstedt's armies in the Ardennes, General Hodge's forces plod through snow and across ice-covered hills. 38 days after the German breakthrough, the enemy has been driven back virtually to his starting point. Saint-Vite, in the northeastern corner of the Bulge, is the last important road junction on the Nazi escape route. 7th Division infantry troops wearing camouflage dress take cover in the snow near the besieged town. On the outskirts of Saint-Vite, armored support for the infantry. The town is entered on 23rd January. German losses in tanks and assault guns are upwards of 600 as Allied troops begin new drives north and east of Saint-Vite. Advancing behind the fleeing Nazis, our forces complete straightening of the line before the West Wall prior to new breakthroughs into German territory. A factory set up in a French village schoolhouse and employing local girls is producing from GI blankets a new warm covering for protection against trench foot, a disease which has taken heavy toll among American troops exposed to the severe weather conditions of the European front. The factory is a project of the Civil Affairs section of an infantry division stationed near Sarreguemines, France. The shop is furnishing the men of one division with boots to protect their feet against the cold and dampness of snow-filled foxholes. The boots are intended solely to keep the feet warm and dry and cannot be used for traveling. The bottom of the boot is packed with straw, which serves as a cushion and insulator against the cold. They are worn over the regular shoes or boot packs. Frontline troops confined to long periods of inactivity and exposure to adverse weather conditions, which are the main causes of trench foot, have been hard hit by this painful disability, which sometimes results in the loss of part or all of the feet. Although the Army instructs soldiers on prevention of trench foot and supplies them with medical aid, field conditions have made it difficult to keep the disease under control. Expedients such as these boots are a welcome addition to the men's winter equipment. Another type of boot, also for protection against trench foot. This boot was designed by an infantry officer to combat trench foot among his troops fighting in Germany. The quartermaster modified and improved the original, and in a short time had equipped an entire regiment. The boot is constructed of 3 thicknesses of salvaged woolen blanket and is worn in place of the shoe under the overshoe. On attacks or long marches, the boot can be carried inside the field jacket to replace wet, cold shoes at the end of the action. The wearing of such protection should do much to cut down the number of cold weather casualties.